I'm Katie Driggers. I'm standing outside Lutheran Ridge Cemetery where supposedly there's a haunted tombstone. And I'm going to read you the story of that, written by a guy that came here like in 1989. And let's go in, I guess. I'm sitting in front of the Copley tombstone, which is the one that's supposed to be haunted. It's really windy out here, so if you can't hear me, so I'm going to read you the legend really quick. And a guy named Tim Steinman wrote it. So, the story goes that a wife, Diana V. Copley, was found dead. She had been strangled. No murder charges were ever brought up because of the lack of evidence. Today, her husband, Irvin Copley, is also deceased, and they are buried together under one tombstone that reads husband and wife. The solid marble tombstone is near the road. It's said that if you park in front of the tombstone with the headlights on, there are unnatural lines at the top of the marble stone that depict two individuals. They are facing each other, and the husband's hands are wrapped tightly around the wife's throat. The tombstone has been altered more than once, but the image still returns. There was a town legend about this tombstone that if you sat upon it or touched it, you would be cursed. However, no one knows exactly what the curse entails. In 1958, my father, Larry Steinman, and two of his high school friends found the tombstone that they had talked about, with what looks like his hands around her neck, just below her name on the tombstone. That day in 1958, my father and his friend both sat on the tombstone and touched it. Were they cursed? My father's friend, with the last name of what he remembers was Baldwin, was involved in a fatal car accident a month later and died after having his head decapitated. As for my father, his curse was the past 70 years of his life filled with greater than normal bad luck that has cursed him from sitting on the Copley tombstone. Growing up, my father always told us kids the story of the Copley tombstone, and we were quick to dismiss it because he always thought he was trying just to scare us. Finally, one day in 1989, we were up around Ohio visiting a family, and we decided to try and go find the Copley tombstone. It took most of the day to try and find the cemetery because it had changed so much over the years, but we finally found it. Some of the changes made are now that you can't drive up as close to it as my father once did back in 1958. You had to park in a parking lot and walk a ways to get to the entrance to the cemetery. Once there, we spent a great deal of time trying to find the tombstone, and it all seemed hopeless until we finally found it, and when we did, it was nothing like it used to be in the picture from 1958. The tombstone over the years was changed several times, and the faces kept reappearing each time. In 1989, when I saw the tombstone, it was one that was hidden between the shrubs, and the tombstone was very small, about 6 inches by 6 inches, and so small that there was no room for nothing, no faces anymore. Now, if you want to look again, you can try to see if you can see any faces on it. I don't know if you'll be able to see any since it's so dark out and we don't have a whole bunch of light.
I'm sorry.
But I
Do
came
we
here.
have any brave volunteers to touch it?
Yes, we have a few buddies here.
Would you like to go touch it?
See if any of these guys are.
He's gonna go touch it. He's gonna go touch it.
Wants to
I'll touch it.
touch it.
Okay.
We have with us.
Hold on. He's gonna go touch it.
We have with us Zach
He's gonna go touch it.
and Riker Scott, both daring couples. If he's any triggers, if he wants to touch the tombstone.
I got it.
He's touching it? Hold on.
That's not.
He's touching it.
And he's touching the tombstone. Now, are you brave enough to sit on it, Zach?
There's no room.
Okay, there's no room to sit on it, but he's touching it, so that's
That's the most I can do.
Let's find out if you get
can't
cursed
sit on it
tomorrow.
anymore.
Okay. If I'm not at school tomorrow, you know what?
If Zach's not at school tomorrow, he's been either murdered or
Something.
yeah.
The curse has happened.
Now Riker
Either
Scott's
way.
gonna go in and touch the tombstone
Come on, dude.
too.
I'm gonna show you how to take off this plug. I have to see your hand when you touch it.
Put it on top. Yeah, right there.
Can you see
Yeah,
that?
zoom in. Hold on. There it is.
And he's touching the tombstone.
So, we have two people that might die.
We're not at school tomorrow, you know why?
We have two brave individuals who.
And one
decided-
cowardly one. And one cowardly. I don't know. Oh, they can't hear me.
I'll do it. Okay, and Anthony Drigger is another brave individual going to come
Go
up
on.
here and.
Let's go.
Touch
Touch
the-
I got it.
And he's touching it. There you go.
Hershey
All
balls.
right. Now, how do you feel after touching that tombstone?
Dirty.
Good summary.
Well, it's
And
dirty
you.
under there.
Don't feel much different.
Don't feel much different.
Just weird.
I feel the same.
Say that again, Mike.
I feel the same.
He feels the same, and there you have it.